Wenatchee Police Department officers were made aware of an incident near the Living Hope Church, which is located North Chelan Avenue and Palouse Street in downtown Wenatchee. Information being received was there was a subject at the location shooting at the church. Officers arrived on scene and confronted the subject, and as a result, the subject, actually one officer was sustained non-life-threatening injuries as a result of the shooting, and then as a result, the suspect ended up was shot and fatally wounded by officers at the scene.
So the suspect shot at the police while he was shooting at the church, or did they confront him and he turned on them, or how did that happen?
So everything's still very early in the investigative process. We're still trying to determine what exactly led up and how that confrontation actually originated between the officers and the suspect. As I mentioned, the suspect was observed physically shooting at the church when the officers arrived. But to the circumstances between how that contact was initiated between the officers and the suspect, that part of the investigation is still ongoing.
Any names being released at this point?
No, they are not at this point.
I see this was Wenatchee Police Department, but the Special Investigation Unit is in charge of this, or how's that working, Tyler?
Correct. So since this was an officer-involved shooting, the North Central Washington Special Investigative Unit was activated to take over the investigation of the incident, to comply with all the independent investigative standards that now are here within the state. So the Wenatchee Police Department's been removed from the investigative process, and the SIU team is heading the investigative process.
Okay. Undersheriff, can you tell us the condition of the officer who was shot? Is he doing okay?
So my understanding is he is doing fine, and like I said, it was a non-life-threatening wound to a little lower limb that they sustained.
I know you say that the investigation is early, and I'm sure you might not be able to provide any information, but of course the public is aware that we've had a gang-related possible shooting here just a few weeks ago in Wenatchee. Do you know of any correlation here, or is this gang-related at all? Are you aware of?
At this time, I'm not aware of any gang correlation with this shooting as compared to recent shootings in the Wenatchee area. But like I said, we are still very early in gathering all the facts and trying to determine the circumstances around this incident.
Obviously, with Apple Blossom underway and parades going on and things like that, I'm sure that the scene around the crime area where that occurred this morning, I know that there was quick response. Can you talk to us related to Apple Blossom and things like that as far as the rest of the festival? Or is there any impacts that can be anticipated?
So the actual shooting scene was very relatively close to Memorial Park, obviously where all our food vendors are for the Apple Blossom Festival, and it was, of course, the parade day. The parade was not impacted by this incident. Neither was operations or any of the festivities at Memorial Park. Biggest impact at this time is the fact that the scene around the church and a lot of the side streets are still closed and will remain closed probably into this evening until all the scene investigative process is completed.
Undersheriff, I know it was early in the morning, but there was probably some folks that were around that vicinity when this incident took place. I know there's been some images that have been placed on social media and things like that. Are you guys, as far as the investigation is concerned, if anybody's got any video or anything like that, are you asking them to help out with your investigation?
Absolutely. So we've been fielding phone calls actually throughout the day, especially through Rivercom Dispatch Center, people that have called in with, identifying what they've witnessed, whether they had video or not. And obviously we're encouraging citizens, that anybody that has that information that has not been contacted and feels it's relevant, please contact Rivercom, and then they can obviously put your information through, or their information through to the investigative team members, so they can be contacted.
Undersheriff, what's next steps here?
So, like I said, it's still a very active scene today. There's still several outside agencies coming in to help work on the investigation. This scene's going to be active most likely into the early to late evening, and then once that's done, obviously we'll open up so the public can re-access through the area, and then the team members will conduct their normal follow-up as they would with any other investigation that they're working on. So this will be a process that goes on for some time.
Well, Undersheriff, thank you very much for taking the time to join us here on the NCW Life channel.
Absolutely. Thank you, Eric.